Thank you, Your Honor. I'm happy to say that the community's direction on moving forward with the Joseph Street Fields is going quite well. As the council knows, we entered into a memorandum of understanding with Moscow School District earlier this spring, April 1st, I believe it was, and later in August we finished up with an agreement, a joint use maintenance agreement for the Joseph Street Fields. There is a group called the ARC Group, which stands for, I can't remember now.
Authorized Representative
That's
Committee.
right, Authorized Representative. We came up with that because it was easy to say. At any rate, the group is made up of City of Moscow representatives, Council President Walter Steed, myself, and Dwight Curtis, our Parks and Recreation Director. And the school district is represented by Superintendent Greg Bailey. Jim Frenzel, Moscow School District trustee, is a member of the ARC, but Kim Campbell, who is another Moscow School District trustee, sat in on what I'm going to talk about tonight. And Deb Adair, the business manager for Moscow School District, supported by our own city attorney, Rod Hall, and the district's attorney, Ron Landek, and his firm. After we entered into our agreement, the first step that needed to be taken was to move ahead with a professional services agreement selection of design professional for the fields themselves. We sent out an RFQ. When I say we, the official contracting entity for this agreement and the fields themselves is Moscow School District, as they are the owner. We are also involved as a 50% partner in the development costs and the use of the fields. So they issued an RFQ. We were lucky enough to get 6 or 7 responses to that from firms around the Northwest. Out of those 6 or 7 firms, 3 were selected for interviews. The RFQ, the response was done. I think we received those on a Wednesday. The first cut was taken on a Friday, and then within a week, the official interviews were taken. At the end of that day, that Friday, the ARC had come up with a apparent, I want to say low bidder, but an apparent successful design professional, and that firm was contacted. That firm is Design West, and they are their field contractor is the Land Group out of Boise. The Land Group, as you may recall, when the updated amounts and preliminary design considerations were discussed on this project, they were retained by Design West at that time to do some of that preliminary work. They're very skilled and have some great ideas to deal with what can be troublesome polluted soils. And the idea is to make these fields as accessible and useful as possible for as early and as long as possible. What you have before you today is an agreement that has been negotiated with the help of, I want to thank Bill Belknap and Les McDonald, who sat in as professional expertise on our interview committee. They offered some great insights. Bill assisted mightily in the preparation of the RFQ as well as in this agreement, assisting Deb Adair, who is the business contact for the Moscow School District. It is a contract that is, well, the paragraph you see on the front page says it all, and that is that it meets our time frame, which, as you know, is a very aggressive, expedited time frame. The agreement has a percentage of design at about 8.5% or 8.25%, or $198,323. That's a standard, pretty much an average amount for design agreement. Also included in this agreement is not just the design and all of the civil engineering and all the things that go along with that, but also contract management. So these design professionals, Ned Warnick, who is a principal in the Design West firm who helped us construct the Intermodal Transit Center just last year, will be the lead contract manager and contract contact for this project. And Lawrence Rose, the main principal in Design West, and Ned came over and gave a great presentation supported by representatives of the Land Group and Hodge Engineering here in Moscow, just to name the main folks on that team. As I said, the big issue at this point is to get the show on the road. The next step that we have to take, well, I should explain the steps first. Pursuant to our agreement, although the Moscow School District is the contracting entity for all of the contracts for this project, and our role, the city's role, will be to provide approvals of those contracts in advance of their execution by the school district, which we have done. And also, when it comes time to pay the bills, they'll be approved through the authorized representative committee and then submitted through the school district and to the city of Moscow for payment of their contracted share. The next step in this case, the school district, which their regular meeting I don't believe was to occur till the 22nd or 23rd of October, will be having a special meeting on the 10th. So this Thursday they'll be meeting, and they've added this to their agenda. So that helps us a ton. We can get started even quicker than we thought we were going to be able to. There will be a group that will assist the architects in this. That group will be made up of stakeholders, of the folks who will likely use the fields. That group will review work that has already been done, and it is a very short process. We will have, hopefully, a design perspective preliminary by Thanksgiving. So it's going to be very quick. And Design West is excited about it, or at least they say they are, and they are not daunted by the time frame. So we're excited to move ahead. We have other things that are moving ahead as well. One of those is we have to start the negotiation of the actual use agreement so that the parties, the city and the school district, know what the uses will be, the percentage uses, how it will be administered, and then the maintenance agreement. The city, as you recall in the agreement, the city will maintain it, but there are parameters around that too. So Dwight's outfit will be doing a lot of work on that over the next several weeks. But the idea is that when we get into the design and actual construction of this, that all those agreements will be standing alongside. So with that, what we're looking for the council tonight is the approval of this agreement, recommendation to the Moscow School District Board of Trustees to retain Design West along the lines within the agreement and to move this ahead. I will note that I was contacted today by Walter indicating that there may have been some oversights in the agreement having to do with, for the contract management, preparation of change orders, authorized payments, those sorts of things. We contacted Design West, and as I indicated in our meeting this afternoon, those were in the agreement. They were considered to be in the agreement. Design West knew they were going to have to do it. We asked them if they minded if we changed the agreement by adding a couple of sentences. They were fine with that, and I would point the council to section 4.4 in Exhibit A, which describes construction inspection services. We will add the following sentences or sentence. Consultant shall be responsible for the review and certification of all contractor price requests or pay requests, and shall prepare all necessary change orders, price requests, design directives, and similar construction-related correspondence. So with that, that should remove any confusion, and Design West indicated that that is fine, no problem with that. I have yet to contact the school district. By the time we contacted this afternoon, they were in meetings, so we will do that tomorrow. It does not change the fabric or the intent of the contract. So we're ready to go, and staff's recommendations is that the council approve and recommend the passage of this contract.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. Sue, the administrative committee took a look at this?
Yes, we did, and we were ready to make the appropriate recommendation, and I think with Walter, I think he had his hand up for his amendments, and I think we're perfectly happy with those, yes.